NCT Wish is the newest subunit of the NCT universe, born amid major shifts within SM Entertainment's structure. Officially debuting in 2024, they carry both the freshness of a rookie group and the heavy expectations of being the youngest sibling of a globally established brand. Their arrival is not merely a symbol of regeneration, it's also a test of whether SM's neo-culture technology concept still resonates in today's hyper-competitive K-pop industry. NCT Wish was introduced during SM's restructuring, after the company announced it would stop expanding new NCT units worldwide. Unlike earlier subunits with specific regional focuses, NCT 127, NCT Dream, and WayV, NCT Wish was presented with a universal identity to fulfill fans' wishes through music and performance. Their first mini-album, Wish, carried a bright, youthful energy. The record introduced the group's identity with pop-driven tracks that felt both refreshing and approachable. Songs like Wish, title track, and Bloom embodied optimism, showcasing the group as innocent yet determined newcomers who wanted to connect with fans worldwide. Despite skepticism surrounding their place in NCT's already complex system, NCT Wish's debut proved successful. Their first album ranked high on Korea's Gaon charts and Japan's Oricon, selling hundreds of thousands of copies in their first week. On digital platforms, their songs caught viral traction, especially on TikTok, helping them reach international audiences far beyond Korea and Japan. Their success wasn't only reflected in numbers. The group received nominations for Rookie Awards at major Korean music ceremonies, while individual members began drawing attention for their charisma and stage presence. These milestones proved that NCT Wish wasn't just an experimental add-on, they were capable of capturing the spotlight on their own. After a promising debut, NCT Wish followed up with their second mini-album, Songbird. This record leaned more heavily into vocal-driven performances, showcasing a more emotional and sentimental side of the group. If the first album was an introduction, Songbird was a statement of growth and depth. The title track, Songbird, struck a chord with fans for its heartfelt lyrics and melodic beauty. Critics praised the balance between youthful energy and emotional sincerity. Alongside pop ballads, the album also explored R&B and hints of hip-hop, expanding their musical palette. For many fans, Songbird became an anthem, symbolizing both NCT Wish's journey and their message of hope. Through their first two mini-albums, NCT Wish established their DNA. They became known as the unit representing brightness, optimism, and positive messages. Unlike NCT Dream, who evolved from a teen concept into maturity, or NCT 127 with their experimental bass-heavy sound, NCT Wish positioned themselves as accessible yet meaningful, a group whose songs anyone could relate to, regardless of age or culture. This identity, however, came with challenges. As rookies, they had to constantly prove their worth in a market dominated by powerhouses like BTS, 17, Stray Kids, and aespa. Yet, this was also their strength. Their lighter, emotionally resonant concept offered a refreshing contrast to the heavier trends in K-pop, carving out a unique space for themselves. By 2025, fans and industry observers alike wondered, what's next for NCT Wish? Would they continue to ride the momentum, or would they fade into the background like so many rookie groups before them? The answer arrived with the announcement of their third mini-album, Color, scheduled for release on September 1, 2025. More than just another comeback, Color was framed as a defining project. It was the group's chance to prove they were no longer rookies, but serious contenders in the global K-pop scene. Understanding the weight of Color requires looking at the broader state of K-pop in 2025. The industry had grown denser than ever, with dozens of new groups debuting each year. Trends shifted at lightning speed. Songs and concepts could explode worldwide within hours thanks to social media. SM Entertainment knew NCT Wish couldn't rely on branding alone. They needed a distinctive musical and conceptual identity that would allow them to stand out. Color was positioned as that breakthrough moment, a project that would push boundaries while still staying true to the optimistic, fan-centered DNA of NCT Wish. The fandom, known as Wishsins, placed huge hopes on Color. Many believed it would showcase bolder sides of the group, richer vocals, more intricate choreography, and a stronger artistic vision. They also anticipated that the album might pave the way for bigger milestones, such as major award wins or even their first Asia tour. When SM Entertainment announced that NCT Wish would return with their third mini-album, Color, fans were excited not only for the release itself, but also for the story behind its creation. Every comeback in K-pop carries a certain weight, but for a group as young as NCT Wish, the production process is more than a technical exercise. It is a journey of identity, experimentation, and self-discovery. Color was crafted over several months, combining the expertise of veteran producers with the fresh perspectives of the members themselves. In this part, we'll dive deep into how the album came to life, the planning, the music making, the visual preparation, and the behind-the-scenes dynamics that shaped one of the most important projects of NCT Wish's career. The first discussions about Color began in early 2025, shortly after the promotional cycle for Songbird ended. SM executives, along with the group's management team, evaluated the response to the second mini-album and identified areas for growth. Fans had praised NCT Wish's vocal strengths and emotional delivery, but some critics noted the need for a more dynamic sound that could compete on larger stages. By February 2025, the concept of Color had taken root. The idea was to create an album that symbolized diversity, both musically and emotionally. Each track would represent a different shade of NCT Wish, showing not just their youthful optimism, but also their growing maturity. From March to May, songwriting camps were organized in Seoul, Tokyo, and Los Angeles. This global approach ensured that Color would appeal to both domestic and international audiences. Recording sessions began in late May and stretched into July, often running late into the night. For the members, this was the most intense production schedule they had experienced so far. But according to staff reports, the group embraced the pressure, knowing that this album could define their trajectory. SM Entertainment has always prided itself on working with top-tier talent, and Color was no exception. The album brought together a mix of longtime SM collaborators and new international voices. Kinsey, the legendary SM songwriter, contributed to one of the B-side tracks, ensuring a polished, emotionally powerful ballad. Dem Johns, known for his experimental beats in NCT 127 and aespa's discography, helped produce the title track, giving it a futuristic edge. Yoo Young-jin, a veteran of SM sound, guided vocal production to highlight the members' strengths. Several new producers from the US and Europe were also invited, adding global flavors like EDM pop, lo-fi R&B, and funk-inspired grooves. The songwriting process wasn't limited to professionals. For the first time, NCT Wish members were actively involved in lyric writing and melody suggestions. One member in particular, fans speculate Ren or Riku, contributed lines that made it into the final version of the title track. This involvement gave the group a sense of ownership and authenticity that fans deeply appreciated. Recording for Color was more demanding than their previous albums. Unlike Wish and Songbird, which had relatively straightforward vocal arrangements, Color required complex layering, harmonies, and vocal dynamics. During vocal sessions, producers pushed members to expand their ranges and experiment with tones. One anecdote shared by a staff member revealed that a member spent nearly 6 hours perfecting one high note in the chorus of the title track. Rather than being frustrated, he reportedly said, "If this note represents our color, then I want to make sure it shines as brightly as possible." Such dedication highlighted not just technical growth, but also the emotional connection the members felt with the album. No K-pop comeback is complete without choreography, and Color required a performance as bold as its music. The choreography team, which included international choreographers who had previously worked with NCT Dream and EXO, designed routines that emphasized synchronization, power, and fluidity. Practice sessions often ran until midnight, with members repeating complex formations
representations of spreading colors. Fans later noticed that the choreography incorporated subtle nods to NCT Wish's debut era, almost like a callback to their roots. This balance of nostalgia and innovation became a hallmark of Color's performance identity.
The name Color wasn't chosen lightly. The creative team brainstormed several themes before settling on this one, believing it best represented the group's essence. In a brainstorming session, one creative director reportedly said, "If Wish was about dreams and Songbird was about voices, then Color must be about identity. Every shade is a different emotion, and together they form the picture of who NCT Wish truly are." The visual aesthetic of the album reflected this philosophy. Each teaser image